In this video, our guest Yoni from GETIDA shares a very detailed checklist of what sellers should take care of before Q4. It includes inventory management, listing optimization, logistics, finances, advertising, and more. GETIDA is an Amazon auditing and reimbursement service, and in case you want to reach out to them, find a special offer below in the video description that gives you a $400 free of FBA reimbursements. And in this video, you will also meet LISETT LEES. She works with different Amazon brands. And as always, if you like what we do, click the like button below and subscribe to our channel.
Hi, Yoni. I'm really happy to have you here today to talk about some of the things sellers should know and do before they have a successful Q4 selling on Amazon. So before we do that, could you please introduce yourself and tell us what you do in the Amazon space?
Yeah, sure thing. Nice to be here, Lisette. Hi, everybody. My name is Yoni. I'm one of the co-founders and chief growth officer of GETIDA. In general, we're a technology company. And what we do, we help Amazon FBA sellers audit their accounts for discrepancies. And if they're eligible to get a reimbursement, we help them to get the reimbursement and hopefully get them the maximum reimbursement that they're eligible to receive. And hopefully they get the money back and they reinvest it into the business. They can spend more on advertising, on sourcing, whatever it is that they need to do to keep fueling the business and pushing it forward.
Okay, sounds really useful for the sellers. And today you have prepared the list of things sellers should know and pay attention to in order to have a really successful Q4. So I know you have a slide deck for us as well. So please share your screen and let's see what you have for us.
We prepared basically a checklist for the sellers because many times, I'm pretty much all day long, I just speak with sellers and we're involved with the community. And it's there seems to be an impression of some of the sellers, not all of them, like, what's the one thing I need to do that's going to make me, blow up and have a really good Q4 or just really grow on Amazon? And usually my response to that is like, it's a few things, not that one. Don't look for that one thing. Look for all the things that you should probably look into. Make sure you're set up properly. And if you are, probably everything will be very solid and strong and you'll grow. So with that spirit, we prepare this checklist and we'll go over kind of the main features that sellers should be prepared for for Q4, and if they do it well, hopefully they're gonna have a really successful season. So here's a little bit more about us. Like I mentioned, in terms of GETIDA, some people ask me about the name. How do you say GETIDA? You say GETIDA. I tell them it doesn't really matter. It's just an acronym. It stands for GETIDA, which is Get Intelligent Data Analytics. And also we like to consider ourselves a global leader in FBA auditing and reimbursements because for the simple fact that even if you sell on Amazon Canada or Mexico, or US or UK or Europe, EU, we can help you there. So we're a global provider. We actually won the Gold Award from the American Business Awards for our dashboard technology. We do have a team of dedicated team of acclaimed specialists who many of them worked for Amazon in the past. They're former Amazon employees who used to work in the FBA reimbursements departments. So we know what we're looking for. We know how to manage the issues, how to deal with all the back and forth, and of course stay compliant with Amazon. We actually track and monitor our recovery rate. It's over 70%. So for every 10 cases that we open, more than 7 cases usually get reimbursed. We're big hosts of many seller events, including Seller Fest and Klik. So if you want to check the latest events, you can visit getida.com/events. And another thing is we also have a nice popular show. You can just visit getida.com/podcast. We have Prime Talk. It's our show. I'm one of the hosts, and I recommend you to check Augustus Kligis. He was there. He was a guest on our show, so go check out his episode. Really interesting story he has to tell. So Augustus Kligis on Prime Talk, don't miss out. And the last thing is we like to make our solutions affordable for sellers of all sizes and any stage because it's free. It's free to use to join GETIDA, and it's free to stay with GETIDA. There's no subscription. We only charge you a fee if we're able to get you money back. So let's say this month you join GETIDA, we get you $100 back. We charge you 25%, which will be $25. But next month we get you $0. You pay $0. So it's very convenient. And if you're wondering where you can find us, of course, you can find us on getida.com. And of course, you can find more things about orangeclick.com on the website. But you can also find us in the Amazon App Store on Sell Essential. And what does that mean? It means we're an authorized solution provider by Amazon. Okay, which means we have 2 commitments. We have a commitment to you, the seller, but also to Amazon to make sure that we're terms of service compliant, data security, private policy, all these components we got to perform on the highest level. You can also find us on the Amazon SPN, the Service Provider Network. Okay, that's enough about us. Let's talk about you guys. Here's the list. This is the checklist. So this is the overview of the checklist. We're gonna kind of dive into each one, but high level, you see there's inventory management, listing optimization, finance, logistics, advertising, sourcing, account health, and accounting. These are the main components. There are, of course, other functioning components, but we believe these are the main ones you should stay geared and focused to, because if they're all aligned properly and balanced, hopefully you're going to be very focused on all the things that needs to be done, and you do it the right way, and you're going to have a successful Q4 season. So far, any questions, Lisette?
And I don't have questions yet, but I'm really eager to dive deeper into this checklist and hear what advice you have for sellers.
You got to be ready, because I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to need, because you're very active with the community. You know a lot of stuff. I want to extract everything I can from you. So this is going to be a good value for the viewers and the sellers. Okay. First objective, inventory management. So just to kind of refocus on things, right? So you are sellers, right? What does that mean? You are retailers. And retailers, the most important thing they can do as retailers, that's their job, is to make sure that every inventory, every unit that they have available in stock or in their balance sheet is available for sale. All right. So you got to make sure that all your products are active and listed for sale. If any of them are not active, for any reason that we're going to touch soon, you got to make sure to activate it as soon as possible. I'll give a few examples just in case nobody's aware, somebody here is not aware. It's very important that you are aware. So it could be that you ship products to Amazon to the fulfillment center. If for some reason maybe it didn't receive properly, or there's a glitch in the system and the products are not appearing on the Amazon listing page. They're simply not appearing on the Amazon listing page. So if you never heard of this, go to Amazon Sell Essential, go to inventory, go to stranded inventory. If you see any of your ASINs there, fix them now, because nobody can buy them. Okay, so if you've never heard of it, this is the moment you'll know about it from now and forever. So you can always, you're always available to and focus on making your sales. Usually, if you're a seller that have 1, 2, maybe 5 ASINs, you notice right away, because you're always looking into the sales. But the moment you got 10, 20, a few dozen ASINs, that can easily happen. You kind of lose track, lose sight, and a few of your ASINs are not available because they're stranded. Now, another second example is suppressed FBA inventory. Suppressed, it's a little strange, because the listing is active on Amazon, but you can only reach to it if you have the link, the URL of the ASIN or the listing. If you don't have the URL, you can't find it on Amazon. You can even click your brand name or whatever it is, you're not gonna find it. Amazon's suppressing it. It's hiding it. It's hiding a listing. So this can happen if there's maybe a problem with the listing. It could be wrong image sizes. Maybe the pixel size is not good. It could be the UPC information. It's something that you probably usually need to edit or fix. And then once it's good and Amazon likes it, boom, it's gonna appear again and gonna be indexed again on Amazon. So if you never heard of it, now you heard of it and you know about it. So once again, go to Amazon Sell Essential inventory, suppressed inventory, and edit it and fix it right away. Now, if you try to fix it because Amazon told you what information they need and it's still not appearing, open a case with Amazon, right? Open a case, give them the ASIN, say, hey, I updated everything that needs to be updated. Please push it, refresh it. So they're going to refresh it and boom, it's going to appear again on Amazon. So once again, your inventory management, the first mission that you have in mind is all of your inventory that you own and you paid money for is available for consumers to buy. So on Amazon, these are the main elements that can maybe block you and interfere. So it's very important that you know about it. Okay, also try to predict how much stock you should carry. Okay, you don't want to overbuy inventory. So when after a Q1, you have a lot of inventory left, but you don't want to underbuy, because if you underbuy and you're exploding with sales, but you can sell much more, that's an issue. So prediction is an art. Try to do your best in predicting. If this is like your first year, try to maybe look at your competitors' information or data, maybe how much they sold in the last year. So try to gauge how much you need to order and produce. If you're producing in the United States domestically, sourcing is less of an issue. But if you're sourcing from overseas, especially China, it's really problematic. There's a lot of complications. We're going to touch much more about that with logistics. But yeah, prediction is very important. It's a thin, delicate balance. Try to predict as much as possible so you maximize on the opportunity. Usually the rule of thumb is order enough, obviously, to have enough for the season, but even extra for Q4. That's usually the best strategy you should look after. And of course, if you get it wrong and if you overbought, make sure that you can financially afford it. It's not going to crash you, right? So you're going to buy a lot and then the Q1 you have so much overstock. And if that's going to take you out of business, be careful when you predict. Be attentive to that. If not, you can afford it. It's all good for you. Okay, so less of an issue for you. All right, listing optimizations. Okay. Okay, before we jump into the notes, you got to keep in mind that when you're selling online, especially on Amazon, It's not like selling in regular stores. In regular stores, you're on a shelf, your product, and you make fancy packaging. So your product is on the shelf. It's pushing other competitors, and it's screaming to and it's shouting to the consumers, hold me, touch me, look at me, read, and then put me in the cart and buy me. That's how you make a sell in retail, right? And online, right, in brick and mortar retail, and online is different. The way you scream and shout and communicate with the consumers is your listing, because you got to make sure your listing looks beautiful. It's optimized to the brim, because that's how you're sending a message to consumers. Look how great this is. Add me to cart and buy me, right? So with that spirit in mind, keep in mind that your Amazon listing is your digital shelf. You're on the shelf in a digital way, and that's how it all works. So you got to look beautiful. So make sure your copyright and visuals are optimized. If you sell a seasonal version, right, your product can be like a great gift or something that's even for the winter. You should prepare your listing accordingly to make it look like that. You can add a few images on the carousel. Yeah, the main one image, you want to keep it probably classic or what it is, but on the carousel, add some stuff for the season. Maybe with a Santa Claus, somebody's with a family all together, or giving the gift, and they all like dressed with Christmas or Hanukkah clothing or atmosphere. Okay, so they shop in. It's a bit different, more unique than the competitors, where it's just regular, looks regular. Yours more has a spirit, so there's room to be creative. Also, videos, you can add upload a video on your listing that's more with the holiday spirit. Okay, so be creative. And holiday gifts, it's a classic thing. But one thing to be careful, you can't say that you have a special sale, like on the content. You can't say that you have a special sale or just for Q4 for Christmas. That's kind of against TOS, so be careful with that. Don't do that. On the listing, you can say this is a great gift. If it's a holiday, if it's but don't say that there's a special discount, a special offer just for holiday. Don't do that. That's against TOS. You might get in trouble. So regarding listing optimization, hopefully this is the right focus that you have right now. Before we move forward, Lisette.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask one question. Do you have any advice? When is the right time to adjust the listings according to the holiday time? Should sellers do it already like in November? Let's see if they want to tailor according to, let's say, Christmas time.
In general, when it's Q4 ready, you can start getting up even in October. I would say this, make sure in October you have everything that you need ready. But if you want to pull the trigger later on, you can do it like already mid-November, like a week or two before Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It should be already be there. Make sure you upload properly so there's no glitches. Sometimes you push an update and it's not working. So you don't want to wait for last minute. So give yourself at least a week or two before to make sure that everything looks and feels correctly to you. So when it comes to Black Friday, you're already set. You're good to go. Don't try to do it the day before or the day of. Give yourself the right time, because Amazon is a big machine and it's better to be prepared ahead of time. So October right now, all the creative, all the stuff is already prepared. During November, that's when you start already dripping it in. Even if you want to start now, not a problem at all.
Okay, perfect. Very good.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, finance. Okay, finance. So Q4 has a lot of opportunity, and why? Because that's when most, this is the season where you get Amazon gets the most traffic, right? Consumers are going to Amazon. So much traffic comes in. It could be triple or more, 3x, 4x, 5x more from regular season. And so you have so much traffic, not only that you have so much traffic, they have intent. They're really prepared to buy. Because the regular year, you have people who are just coming in, looking around. They might buy, not might buy. They call it window shopping. But in Q4, especially in November, December, when it's Black Friday starts and you got Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the way to Christmas, people are not playing games. They're here to buy. Okay, so because of that, it's a great opportunity to explode and get a good opportunity to make like maximum profit. So the question now becomes if you can afford it. If you can afford it, it's all great, all right? But if you cannot, maybe you can consider finance, right? Taking finance, which means taking debt, taking a loan. Now the way the most basic way to calculate if you should take a loan or not is the following. Let's say I'll make it simple and I'll make it more complicated. So if you can calculate mathematically that if you take somebody else's money, and because of that, you're going to generate more sales and you're going to generate more profit, and then you're going to pay back the loan, and because of that, you're going to still have more profit. You're good. You should take a loan. That is a great thing to do. That's why lending is a great instrument for you to grow in profit, because you take somebody else's money, you generate more sales, more profit, and you pay back the money. Boom, you have more profit in your pocket. That's when loan and finance works great. Okay, so now we can put into numbers. If usually around there you do 100,000 in profit, but for Q4 you're going to take a loan, and because of that you're going to be able to create another 50,000 in profit. So you can make 150,000 for the year instead of 100, and this is after you pay back the loan. Mathematically speaking, yeah, you should take a loan. It's better for you, better for the business. but you do it. Okay, so now let's say let's touch the points here. So you got to calculate if it's worth it for you to take a loan and make a bet. If so, we can afford it. So we discuss that. Then it becomes a bit more complicated on the terms of the loan. You could take a 30-day loan, 90-day loan. What's the terms of the loan and the debt, and what's the interest? You got to make sure to be ready for all of that. And if you know that you can sell everything quickly, get all the cash and pay it back, take a short-term loan. If you see you might need more time, even in Q4, Q2, you get the 6-month loan or a year loan, 12-month loan. Okay, so look at the instruments and the loans that are available to you. Cash flow management is vital. Okay, if you make a wrong bet that can choke you, it can be become a disaster. So I guess the point I'm trying to say here is that you need to be honest with yourself. If you are really good with books and finance and understanding all the numbers, and you can really calculate properly, make the take debt, take finance, and do it responsibly. If you know you're very sloppy, you're not sure if you're making money, you're not making money, everything's kind of disorganized, and the way you manage cash is a little iffy, maybe you should avoid taking a loan, because if you take a loan and it's debt and you owe it and you can't pay it, and you have to sell your inventory even if a loss just to pay money, it might just push your whole business down. So you gotta treat debt and loans with a lot of responsibility. Okay, so make sure to handle your cash responsibly. Better safe than sorry. So if you're not sure how it's all gonna play out, it's okay. Play it safe. It's better. But if you're sophisticated, you know your math, you have confidence, and you can clearly see how taking other people's money can make you more money after you pay back, go for it. This is the time, Q4. Any questions on this, Lisette?
Yeah, I was looking at your slide and I see you have marked there on the visual different organizations and companies. So really generally speaking, can you give an overview, like what type of loans Amazon sellers can get? Because it's just not only traditional loans from the bank, right?
Right. So see here on the wall, this gentleman is watching, and on the right, you have Bank of America, Chase. That's like conventional banking. So if you have a good relationship with your bank and you have a good credit score, you come in and say, hey, this is my business model. I want to take $100,000, right? And for the next, 12 months or 36 months, and they give it to you. Great. It's usually the most affordable rates. They're probably going to give you the best interest. The issue is many times these conventional banks don't really understand Amazon. Like, where's the inventory? Oh, you don't have the inventory? We can't take your inventory if you don't pay it back because Amazon has it on FBA. We don't want to deal with you. So that's kind of the issue with conventional banking. But you might be able to take the money from them because you have real estate, or you have a store, so you can say, okay, I'll take you, my store have inventory. You can use this inventory if I don't pay you. In other words, you have assets and other collateral, right? That's when you have traditional banking. But then you have companies that specialize in really understand the sellers and all the components and all the mathematics and all the data, and they're willing to work with you. So you have payability on the top here. Payability usually specializes in the same day, right? So whatever you generate in sales today, you're gonna be able to get the money tomorrow. So you don't have to wait 2 weeks. Right, so it's stuff like that. Then you have, let's say, sellers funding, which also does daily payments, but also they can customize loans for you for 3 months, 6 months, a year, stuff like that. And I think they also are able to do it with different currencies, not just in the US. So let's say you're based in UK, I think they might be able to give you a loan in Great British Pound. If you're in Europe, they might give you in euros. So they're more international like that. And then you get Pioneer, which is also can give you a cash advance, also with multi-currency. And then you also have Amazon. If you're selling on Amazon, you might all of a sudden at some point see a lending offer from Amazon, and usually they say, oh, you can borrow money for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days with the APR, with the annual percentage rate, which is the interest. And usually what happens is they tell you take the money now, and then you pay us. They're gonna every month, and they deduct it from your deposit because they owe you money, right, for all the sales. They just deduct it like that. That's usually how it works. Yeah, these are the kind of variations that it's available out there. They're all good. Everybody kind of serves a different purpose. So you gotta, depends on your character and your situation. Look around, shop around. This is after you did your mathematics. If you come to them, you don't know your mathematics, not many are gonna want to deal with you. So you have to be very, very clear on what's going on with your math.
Okay, very good overview.
All right, let's continue. Okay, now we're heading into logistics. Logistics is going to be the heaviest load. This is the first notice. Okay, I don't know if you noticed this, Lisette, or not, but this came out a few days ago. So Amazon released a notice that said to catch the Christmas sales, get your inventory delivered to FBA on December 2nd. Okay, December 2nd instead of December 11th. It's usually by December 11th you can ship your product. Up to December 11th you can ship your products, and they're going to be ready on time for shoppers to get on Christmas. So they're still going to get it on December 12th. 13th, 14th, all these days, 2 weeks before Christmas, they'll be able to get it. That was the usual classic times. This year, because of all the craziness, Amazon's saying, no. it's earlier by the 2nd. So if you're going to ship your products and they're going to get delivered on 3rd or 4th or 5th, good chance probably they're not going to be sold on Christmas and Q4. So you're going to lose all that momentum. So this is the first thing you got to realize with logistics. Do whatever you can. If you're planning, everything was scheduled to ship it on December 3rd, 4th, 5th or beyond, up to the 11th, because that's what you thought is a deadline, scrap that. Change the disk. Change your mind, like reset. And now calibrate everything to December 2nd, as soon as possible, because it's critical. Because from December 2nd until the 24th, 25th, it's going to go ballistic. And you want to make sure you have enough inventory on FBA. Of course, if you're selling an FBA fulfilled by merchant, less of a concern. But on the FBA side, it's a new notice. It's kind of surprising. It's a little shocking. If you were not aware, did not know, now you know. Don't tell me, don't come later and say, nobody told me. You were told. So if you're watching this, only by actually watching this and doing this on time, and this saved you, this is going to be worth a lot of money for you. So hopefully that's helpful. Let's move on to the next notification here. So here regarding logistics, this is just going to show you what happened this year with shipping, the shipping costs. Because this chart you see, it shows you data from major export cities in Southeast Asia to the most popular Amazon fulfillment centers in the United States. Okay, we're going to go over the chart on the chart in a minute. But if you want this chart, it's available on GETIDA.com/FBAX. It updates every week. Every week you see the price where it's going up or down with all these shipping costs and options. And this data is provided by our friends with Freightos. Freightos is like it's a major platform that it's like you know how you look for an airline for airline tickets. You go to like Expedia or Kayak. It's like that. You go there, you say, I want to basically ship something from A in Asia or China or India, doesn't matter where, all the way to there. They're going to create for you the whole package with all these logistics company. Okay, not only that, they can also today tell you with the badge which one has guaranteed capacity. Because today you're going to go out, say you're going to try to get a container in, and they're going to tell you 20,000. You think you're all good, even though it's so expensive, the bottle sends out with no capacity because people with so much demand. So they have actually badge of trusted partners. When it says guaranteed capacity, it means that it's like an airplane. If they say, you pay for the seat, it's guaranteed to have a seat there. They're not gonna overbook, because some airlines overbook. You want to go on the flight? Sorry, we'll put you on the next flight because we oversold the tickets, right? So they have this element. But let's go see what happened here this year. So the blue line is for less than the container load. It's pretty stable throughout the year. Okay, you just put a few stuff in the container, it's fine. And then you have air shipping. So it started around like 2,000 the beginning of the year. Now it's about 5,000. So right, 100% increase. But look what happened to freight container load, like a full container load. It was around this like 6,000, and jump all the way to 27,500 to start to cool off, and now it's picking up again. This is from pretty much October 24th, a few days ago. So this updates every week, shows you what's going on with the trend. It's getting very expensive, and this shows you how problematic it is, because on the one hand, it's very expensive to ship. It takes much longer to ship, right? And you need to get it earlier now to Amazon. That is the challenge. It's harder to ship, takes longer to ship, but Amazon tell you, we need it even earlier. So what are you going to do? It's craziness, right?
But what do you think? Did Amazon notify sellers about this date change a little bit late? I mean, it was like in the beginning of October. So for me, it seems a little bit late.
Yeah, it is what it is, because Amazon is scrambling around and seeing that, they have all the data set, and because of all these crazy things, like they're getting, these containers now. These containers were ordered like maybe 3 months ago, 4 months ago. All of a sudden they're getting now because of all the delays, and they see the capacity is already crazy. So that's what's happening. The whole logistical chain has been disrupted so many times this year, and things are happening unexpectedly. Maybe that's the explanation. I don't know. But if I had to kind of guess, it's like things are so crazy and dynamic. They have no choice. They looked inside and the data said, this is what it is. And in order for us to kind of be able to, not just for the sellers, even for Amazon wants to make those sales on time. Amazon wants to make sure that they have enough inventory for all the consumers. They're very afraid of being understocked. Okay, even Amazon actually reported its earnings, Q3 earnings in the stock market, because it's a public company, and they had really all the predictions that they had, they were under. They had a really I don't want to say successful. They made money and everything like that, but they're underperformed. They underperformed, so I think they knew they were underperforming. So for Q4, they're making these changes because they want to make sure that they get it all right, and they have a good Q4. So hopefully by Q4 they have a good one, and then they report it to the stock market, and the stock will go back up, and everybody gonna be happy. They're gonna be happy. Their investors, the consumers, the sellers. So I'm sure they have their own calculations. It's not simple calculations. They're a massive company, but I agree. This is it's panicking. You know, it can take a lot of nervousness from the sellers. Okay, so not only that it's Amazon wants your products earlier, not only that it's very expensive to ship, especially from Asia, not only takes longer, Amazon is limiting the capacity of ASINs. The units you can send of your ASINs. So they call it FBA ASIN limitations. So this already happened during this year, in the past few months. So I'm going to backtrack on this story. So up to the pandemic, most sellers were able to ship, products in almost with no limits, right? It was pretty open. And then the only thing that was kind of affecting it was IPI, the inventory performance index. We're going to show it in a moment. But then the pandemic hit for probably about 4 weeks. Amazon said no more inventory. Only categories that you're able to ship inventory is the categories that we want that can help people from during the pandemic because they're stuck at home. Okay. And after 4 weeks, they said, okay, now we're going to open back up. All right. And they said, okay, any new ASIN that you want to ship into FBA is going to be limited to 250 units. That's the maximum you can ship for new ASINs, right? So that was the first arrangement of the ASIN limitation. That stayed for a few good months or even for the year. And during this year, they said, okay, now we're changing it. Now, this is what's happening. Okay, so right now they're saying you can have standard size storage limits, and then you have oversized storage limits. So what happened? All of a sudden, they put you a limit of units, right? So this seller is doing okay because they have 106,000 and they have only 59,000 inside. But what happened to many sellers was if you have 106,000 units of limit, but you already had 150,000, so you wake up in the morning, you have 150,000 units in Amazon's fulfillment center, but your limit is 106,000, so you're already over the limit. You're over the limit. Now you can't send any more inventory in, no matter what you do. You're stuck. And you're preparing. You're producing in China or you're producing in your factory, whatever it is. You want to ship more, you can't because you woke up in the morning, you're over the limit. And that was the major challenge that sellers had, and they're still having. And they don't know what to do because they can't send as big or as fast as they used to be able to send. So this is kind of the example. And here's this, and then they made two more. Now there's 4 tiers. I showed you the standard size, oversized. Now there's 2 more tiers for special categories. Now you have special for apparel storage, and then you have a special for footwear. Okay, so if you got reset, if everything was just send as much as you want, now it's set up for 4 tiers and it's limited. So if all of a sudden you have in stock usually for apparel 10,000 units, and now you have 1,000 units limits, you can't ship more apparel in. Same thing for footwear, for shoes. So a lot of sellers got stuck with all these bizarre situations and they're struggling. I'm going to touch a few points of how to try to fix it very soon. But don't forget, you have all this complication along with the IPI score, the inventory performance index. Okay, so if it's good, it's healthy, you're good. But if it goes under into the red, Amazon's going to charge you more for storage fees and long-term storage fees and all that stuff, which makes it even more expensive to deal with everything. So let's repeat again. It's hard to source. Prices are up in sourcing. Prices up in logistics and shipping, and then it's more expensive. Amazon wants your products instead of December 11th to December 2nd. And even if you are able to ship it in, you might not be able to ship as much as you want. So now let's talk about some solutions here. Okay. And before the solutions, any questions about this, Lisette?
I wanted to ask about solutions. so I'm really waiting forward to hear what you have on this slide. Okay,
there we go. So one solution that I hear selling, this is what I hear from the sellers. Okay, this is not things I thought of. This is the things that I hear from the sellers. So what many of them started to do, they started shipping to FBA in small batches. Okay, if they're already domestic, they were less affected. But let's say you're sourcing from China, you start shipping from air. And why do you do that? If it's super expensive, but you get it very quickly because you want to drip it into, but you can ship smaller. Instead of sending a container in, you're able to ship, 100 units to FBA every time or 500 units, whatever it is, you keep feeding FBA. Okay, why do you want to keep feeding FBA? Because if you don't feed it FBA in small batches and you go out of stock, you lose your rank. And if you lose your rank, it can be very hard to go back up. And your rank is something you invested probably a lot of money. You did a launch, you did PPC, you have all these marketing activities, you have the rank. When we lose it, all your competitors will take your place. So even if you're losing money, okay, the loss of money and the money you're going to pay for shipping and keep your rank is defense. You got to play defense. Because if you lose your rank and never going to get it back, it's going to cost you probably much more. It might be even take you out of business in some, or even some of these products that you lost your rank and never be as good again, and you lost those products at least. So small batches into FBA, this is like the defensive move. Okay, so why? Because it hopefully will sell and rotate faster. So you might be losing on the first few batches, But after a while, it's going to start fixing your velocity with Amazon. Your IPO score will be better, and Amazon will start opening your storage limits. So now you're shipping, you'll be able to ship bigger in air, or all of a sudden be able to finally ship containers back into Amazon. You got to fix the situation. So this is the beginning of the fix, the snowball. Small batches, keep feeding it. Don't lose your rank. Sell it. It's going to move faster. Amazon's algorithm will open up. Okay, now you can ship more and more and more, and that's the way to come back, right? So like I said, limits will be raised and the IPO score will improve. Plan your inventory to sell within 45 to 90 days maximum. If you used to use FBA to sell for 6 months or a whole year, no more. It's too expensive. It's gonna be able to it's not gonna reflect well with all the limitation. Not be able to do it anyways. So try to do it for 45 to 90 days. That's kind of the new calculation. Before I touch the last point, I can also say that some sellers told me what they do. They can afford this. This is if you can really afford this, you should do this. Instead of buying in China for the next 30 days or 90 days, they buy for the whole year. They want to get it now. They want to get a lot of it as much as possible, so they don't have to deal with all the craziness. So they buy a whole year worth of supply, and they bring it here to the United States, and they bring it to a 3PL center. The 3PL center then drips it into FBA to start fixing the situation. And of course, as it opens up, they have enough inventory inside in the United States, so they're able to do it. Plus, the 3PLs also are able to do FBM, fulfilled by merchant. Right, so you never go out of stock, no matter what. Not an FBA, hopefully, and if you do an FBA, you have a backup, an FBM. So that's their method. They're very, very strong about not losing rank, not losing sales, and they can financially afford buying for the whole year. So they don't have to wait for products. It's late. It's not coming. It's not coming. They don't have to ship it in air. They ship it in cargo. Okay, instead of coming in 10 days, it came in 30 days or 60 days, but they got so much of it. They're good. They have enough weapon for the war. They want to fight it with quietness. They don't want to be able every few weeks to be bothered with this craziness again. So this is their strategy. Okay, that's another component we can talk about. But also, if you, there's a little strategy that we discovered. I want to give the credit to Chelsea Cohen from So Stocked. She she has a community group, and they're able to find this opportunity. So if you sell an MCF, multi-channel fulfillment, you can ask for an increase. So if you use Amazon Fulfillment Center to ship your products to the sales that come in from your website, let's say from Shopify or from eBay, even for Walmart, you can call this team or open a case with them. Say, hey, I'm a multi-channel fulfillment seller. Can you increase my storage limits? So instead of 106,000, they might increase it to 150,000 units or 200, whatever it is. That's if you're already in the program. If you're not in the program, or you're thinking about getting it, or you think you can use this program, join the program. Show Amazon you did the setup, and then say, hey, I want to be part of this program. I want you to be able to ship my products to other marketplaces or other channels, right? Multi-channel fulfillment, and they'll open up your limits. So that's another strategy. So hopefully that's also useful for some of you.
Yeah, definitely. I actually have one question regarding limitations. Are you aware what happens if a seller is already over the limits, but there is already like stock going into Amazon, let's say in a week or so? So
they get blocked. They just can't. Yeah, they can send the stock back. Say we're not getting it. You get it all the way back. It's a nightmare. Okay. It's simply a nightmare. They just say can't. I'm sorry. It's a red. So it's a no entry zone. So that happened to a few good sellers. Mm-hmm. But then what we can try to do is, if you know you have inventory that doesn't move at all, you do a removal order. And then with the moment the system updates removal, then it opens up, so you can save. That's how you can save it if it happened to you. Or if this is gonna happen to you right now, one of the best ways, if you have other inventory that you don't need, it's really kind of not as best sellers, remove it, open it up, and send the inventory that's already on the way in. I hope that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a little bit more logistics. Yeah, that just was exactly what I said right now. The create a FBA removal order for all your slow selling ASINs. You should do it probably anyways. And Amazon is basically, the whole situation is showing that Amazon is signaling that it wants top selling products to be sent to FBA. Capacity is limited due to e-commerce growth and logistic challenges. So that's what they want, the best sellers. This is the prime time. This is, where all the most valuable players in inventory and ASINs should play. Of course, it's all about moving inventory and making sales. So don't forget, of course, to boost your sales, use discounts if needed, coupons, a bit higher on ads, get more traffic. Of course, if the traffic comes in, make sure your listing is optimized so it really has a good conversion. And also another tactic is create bundle packaging offers. So let me explain. I'll make this simple, and then I'll make it a bit more complicated. The simple is, let's say you have a few ASINs, you have a few products. Maybe you can bundle them together. So say, okay, I have let's say a camera. I have a tripod for a camera, and then I have a camera case, and then I have batteries for camera, stuff like that. You try to sell your brand all separately, so they have a certain price point. But then you can make a virtual bundle. You tell Amazon, if you take all these 3 or 4 products together, instead of all these products together costing $400, I'm willing to make it for $350. So it's a bundle savings. All of a sudden, consumers will buy more of that, so you can generate more sales. So that's one tactic. So when you do with your own brand, another tactic is when you do with other brands, meaning you have your own private label, but then you take other brands that you can resell. So let's say your product is a tripod, right? A tripod is you can put your camera on. You go to Canon and say, Canon, I want to sell your products. So you can actually sell the camera. You start selling the camera. If you sell a camera, cameras can sell really quickly. So that can help your FBA movement to open up your storage limits, right? But also you can bundle it together. Say the camera is $400, your tripod is $100. You put them together, $350 or $380. So all of a sudden you are selling together with a really big brand. It's your private label. This is a big brand. Boom, things start to sell, move faster and faster. And if some of your products are not really moving fast enough, you bundle it with other better selling products that you have, or with other big brands that you can sell. This can apply, everybody with its own category. So I gave it a camera or electronics category. Let's say this is snacks. You're in the snack category. You're selling peanuts or some dried fruits. You take it, you bundle it with a package of maybe Ruffles chips or Cheetos, stuff like that. You can make it a snack package, a bundle. And don't forget, you can do this virtually. You don't have to go to the warehouse and put it all together. You can bring each one separately to FBA and virtually tell Amazon, this is the virtual bundle I want to do. And the sellers, the consumers will see it all bundled together, and they'll get it in a box all separately. It doesn't really matter because they got a savings.
I just wanted to comment virtual bundle idea because it's really easy tool, in my opinion, to use for Amazon sellers. You basically do exactly what Yoni explained. So you just take the products, you mark the price, you add the product information. So it doesn't take even a lot of time to set the virtual bundles up and to create like different kinds of virtual bundles. So yeah, that's definitely a good one.
All right, very, very good. Thank you for that. Okay, a bit more logistics. So if you're working with 3PLs, right? So make sure to secure a global logistics provider and 3PL services now. And don't be cheap. Don't try to look for the cheapest one, because if the cheapest one is just cheap because they want to get you in, but then they're not performing really well, they're late on things and this and that can cost you much, much more. Okay, if you deal with 3PLs that are not performing well. So paying a premium for logistics during prime time, which is Q4, is worth it. You don't want to lose any opportunity to make a sale on time. You just don't. So don't be a penny wise and dollar foolish. Don't say, this will charge you, will charge me a few pennies less per unit or something like that, and then everything misses out and you miss on the whole season. That can cost you hundreds of thousands, if not millions. Okay. Also, maybe try to rely on a few 3PLs and not just a single one, just to be on the safe side. Because even if you have the best 3PL, the most reputable, but all of a sudden they had a COVID outbreak and the whole warehouse shuts down, what are you gonna do? So also think about working with 2 or 3 more, so you have some backups. It really depends on your volume, how big you are. If you're small, you think you can handle it, fine. But as you go bigger and you have millions of dollars worth of inventory, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of inventory, you gotta have this in mind, like, how am I gonna play the game in the most protected way where it's gonna be very hard to stop me? Okay. At any case, make sure to have an FBM backup, fulfilled by merchant backup option, for whatever craziness that might happen with your logistics. Okay. So anywhere you're working with, if they can't ship to FBA for whatever reason, at least they have the capacity to do fulfillment by merchant, so they can ship it themselves to the consumer. So you never stock out, you never lose rank. Okay. And also if you're shipping to FBA, of course, ship early, ship now. We touched that earlier. And if you have more than one Amazon account, right, maybe use it to store and sell more. Okay. So maybe you have a few brands and a few Amazon accounts. One of them has already maximized the storage. The other one still has availability for storage. Maybe send it there. There's something that I heard of from a few sellers. If you have that infrastructure, use it. Hopefully temporarily, at least the thing until at least things open up. Any ideas on this?
I have one question regarding logistics, but it's also perhaps even more about inventory management. So I wanted to ask about storage fees, because I know Amazon increases the storage fees for Q4. So do you, generally speaking, know how much does the fees increase?
I don't know exactly. I don't remember exactly how much. Just I'll put it this way: the way Amazon's situated FBA right now, it's not a storage. It's not a place for storage. The last place you want to store your product is in FBA. Do it in any other warehouse outside of Amazon, you're probably going to save a lot of money. Amazon is really to be able to ship your product as soon as possible when it hits Amazon. It's like the fast moving. Like when you go to a supermarket, you have the regular cash register, and then you have the express one. That's what it is right now. It used to be, you can load up and bring a big card and take your time. That's fine. No more. It's all the express lane. Anything that hits FBA, you got to keep it moving fast, because monthly storage fees are expensive more than ever. Long storm trees are now expensive more than ever. So just stay away from it. Whatever it is, you don't want to be there, even, even if you know the exact number or you don't.
Okay, great comparison with the express line.
Yep. Okay, we're done with logistics. That was heavy, I know, but that's kind of the main things that happened this year that so many sellers got affected. So hopefully it was useful. Now let's go to other stuff. The next component here is advertising, right? So prepare for an uptick, an outspend, meaning things are just going to cost more. It can easily be three times more on the bidding, right? So make sure you can afford bidding high on your main keywords. Okay, increase your bids on long-term keywords. So in other words, because there's so much traffic and so much of this traffic is willing to buy, don't be cheap. Bid, play the war. It's okay. You're gonna get, this. If you have usually typically maybe your conversion rate is 4%, you might find that on Christmas or Q4 season it's 8% or more. So it's okay to bid more and get more traffic, and that traffic converts even more. This is like being on Times Square in New Year's Eve. Everybody's there. Everybody wants to eat. Everybody wants to drink. So bring them to your booth, bring them to your store, right? That's kind of the thing. Okay, so as I said, there's shoppers and eyeballs that will be everywhere. Here, I just actually want to touch about the long tail keywords. So if some of your keywords are long tail, they perform so during the year, they might surprise you all of a sudden during Q4 and Christmas. So don't let them go. Also bid on them, even if they go higher. Put your money there and get as much traffic as you can to your listing, and hopefully maximize on the opportunity, because the opportunity is short. It's only 3 to 4 weeks from Black Friday until Christmas. It's probably about 3 to 4 weeks. You got to get the maximum. So make sure your budget is ready. Make sure, of course, your listings optimized. We touched earlier. Make sure your inventory is there. Everything is locked and loaded and ready to go. You have the perfect system, and you're gonna be very strong. It's gonna be unstoppable. Okay. Make sure to get as much exposure as you can, so your listing is fully prepared to convert by being optimized to the brand. We touched that. Okay, sourcing, especially for Chinese, you're sourcing from China. So this is a little bit of a warning. Chinese New Year warning. If you source from China, you need to place your orders now for Q1 of 2022. Why? Because China sourcing is a new ball game, right? They have their own issues. There's not enough coal. There's not enough energy. So factories are shutting down, or they only have electricity for a few hours a day. So that's another level of complication. Okay, and then Chinese New Year starts this coming year in 2022 in February into March. Last year was late January into late February. Now it's early February into early March. So now you know. So make sure you're prepared on time. The sooner the better. And if you were used to order stuff every 30 days from China, it's probably very hard to do today anyways. But you should, during Chinese New Year, try to order for 60 or 90 days. So for that 30 days, they're just not going to talk to you. So make sure not to be surprised with that. If you make it into a great Q4 and would like to keep flow going, make sure to not stock out by sourcing late from China. So this is your warning. It's another component that everybody has to kind of stay attentive to. So if you have any account health notifications or warnings, make sure to clear them all ASAP as soon as possible and clear them now. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, it's pretty simple. Go to Amazon Seller Central, go to notifications, and then you get seller notifications. Go there, see if you have any notices there. Maybe they're going to tell you that you have an IP infringement or listing shutdown for negative customer experience. All these things. So and it affects your account health. So if you have any of these warnings or notifications that in Amazon especially is expecting you to fix something, or maybe send them a plan of action, do it now. Fix your account health to make it on the highest level possible, because you don't want, what happens is you don't want to get ASINs or account suspended due to a cloud of complaints in your account during Q4, because usually with Amazon, the way it works, you might get a complaint. Maybe things are still okay, but if you get one or two more, all of a sudden they might suspend your listings or suspend your whole account. If that happens, it's a nightmare. It's a disaster. You don't want to be in that area, so the time to do it and check on it is now. Take your time, fix it. Okay. Coming to Q4 with a clean slate, be ready to act fast if needed. So if your account's already good health, make sure you're ready for it. Hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. So if any notification comes in, you got attacked with a warning or whatever it is, be aware that you should act fast on it and fix it, because if the next day you're gonna get another one or two, you might a few hours can make all the difference. So if you got a notification today, you replied right away, you gave them everything they needed, and you fixed it, and next day you get two more, your account might still be active. But if you didn't do it right away and the next day you got two more, boom, suspension. Sometimes it's that quick and that crazy. And I've seen sellers that have been there. So take that also to your consideration. Be ready to act fast. This is the money time. You're playing, nothing should be able to stop you. So any notification comes in, you're ready to go. You're not lazy, you're not shocked, you're not confused. You got the warning here, okay? So let's not forget, Q4 kind of finishes up the year, right? It closes the year. So I got to make sure you have your mindset on the accounting, okay? So get ready to close your books for the year and make sure you really know your profit and loss. We're going to touch that in a minute. So conduct an inventory count of your FBA inventory and in-house inventory and even inventory under production. What am I saying here? So when you close the year, when December 31 becomes January 1st, that's the moment we got to capture how much inventory you have in stock. I just want to remind you that. So where's your inventory? Because inventory for the seller, inventory is the biggest asset on your balance sheet. So where's your inventory? It's in your warehouse, whatever you have in your warehouse, whatever you have in FBA, but also whatever you already paid for that's in the factory. That's your inventory. Don't forget. Some sellers say, oh, I just check my FBA and that's all I have. No, you might have in your own warehouse and you might already paid for production. So that can make a lot of difference on your balance sheet. So don't forget to calculate that. That's kind of a heads up on this. But also Amazon will provide you with an end of the year statement, a 1099 form. This 1099 form is official legal document that Amazon is saying, these are your sales. It's not my sales. These are your sales. Okay. You're the conduit now because of your sales. You're in charge of all the whatever you made a profit or loss. It's up to you to do the tax return with the government here in the United States. This applies only for Amazon US. Other countries has their own tax forms. Okay. And also remember we talked about finance and if taking loans. If you did take a loan, LISETT, okay, make sure to expense your interest payments if you took a loan. Right, so don't forget if you took a loan of 100,000 and you paid 110,000 back, so you pay 10%, right? So 10,000 was your interest. You can deduct that. You get a tax return. Sorry, you get a tax deduction, so you pay less taxes. So that's also one of the benefits of taking a loan. You use other people's money to make more profit because you make more profit, you can actually deduct the cost of the loan. So the government says, oh, you made actually less profit, so they take less taxes. You understand? So it's an interesting advantage with taking a loan as long as you're making money. And also, if you want, there's a tool here, a profit and loss tool that we have for you guys. So you can use it to put all the expenses of the business and prepare a tax return. You get a free template. You can just visit GETIDA.com/ebook. So when you go there, you're going to get a package of 3 things. A, this profit and loss template. B, how to read an Amazon income statement. Basically, it shows you all the money that's coming in from Amazon and all the money that's going out to you, where all the fees are going to. So you should get to know it, or your bookkeeper or your accountant. So hopefully this package will be very, very helpful for you guys to close off the year and do your accounting. Now, this is the last segment of the show. You know, we talked so much about sourcing, all the pains of sourcing and having your inventory ready and optimization and advertising, all that stuff just to generate all the sales. So if you generated all the sales and you did great, congratulations, right? But now you have actually one more thing to do. You got to look back at everything that happened with FBA and reconcile and do auditing and see if there's an opportunity for you to get more value there. Right, this is kind of the name of the game that we live in, GETIDA. So I'll explain more about it. I'll give you the high-level details and all the data, the statistics you really need to know. So we see the first thing you got to know is that we see that the discrepancy rate on an annual basis with Amazon FBA can be 1 to 3%. What is all these discrepancies? These discrepancies are the inventory that you ship to FBA. Some of your inventory can get lost or damaged, destroyed, disappeared, disposed, or get overcharged with fees. These are discrepancies. And they could be on the yearly basis of 1 to 3%. So if you did $1 million in FBA in sales, 1 to 3% could be $10,000 to $30,000 that you might be owed. So you got to research, find these issues, open a case with Amazon, explain it to them, and then they're going to pay you back. Okay, a reimbursement. And all of a sudden, boom, it's going to increase your profit. We're going to touch this very soon. The second thing you got to know is, for the most part, you have up to 18 months to go back. Okay, but after 18 months, if you don't go back and get everything that you owed, the opportunity expires forever. So do not miss out. If somebody owes you money, make sure you collect it. Okay. And also when you open cases with Amazon and deal with all the back and forth, and Amazon is asking you for more documentation, be ready to give it to them. Because if you open a case, Amazon asks you for more information, you just ignore it. You're not going to get paid a reimbursement. Plus, it doesn't look well in your account. You come to Amazon and say, hey, I think you might have made a mistake maybe here, there, or there. They tell you, okay, we need some more explanation. You just ignore them. It's not good. So be professional, right? And here, if you're wondering why you might need help with auditing for FBA, these are more things you got to look into. So if any of these things looks foreign to you or unfamiliar, it probably means you're leaving money behind, because these are the things we kind of look into, GETIDA. So the mission here is we can really take the tears away from you. We can audit for you, and only if we're successful getting your money back in your pocket, only then we're going to get rewarded. So of course, this is too much for you, too confusing. The solution companies out there that can help you with this. GETIDA, we're one of them. You can use us, but of course you can use others. But get your money. Make sure you get everything that you owed back. It's very, very important. Okay, and here's a quick case study about the positive impacts of a successful or maximizing your reimbursements. So here we have a seller that did about 18 million in revenue for the year, sold about 300,000 units, of which 9,000 units got affected. Inventory got lost, damaged, destroyed, overcharged with fees. So GETIDA were able to get them back in reimbursements, $151,000 back, which pushed the bottom line by about 11%. And why? Because before GETIDA, the profit was 1.3 million. We added another 151,000 and boom, the profit lines jumped very nicely. Now, if you jump into this section, you have two more opportunities to get more impact. One of them is if you're trying to sell your Amazon business. When you try to sell your Amazon business, whoever's buying it is buying your profit, right? And today the market is giving you 5x multiplier for every dollar generated, right? So let's say if you're the seller here, we got you $151,000 back, and you're gonna get $5 for every dollar of this profit. All of a sudden, you're gonna get a boost on your exit of a $750,000. That's impactful when you try to make an exit. Same thing goes if you're buying an Amazon business. If you just bought an Amazon business and whoever you bought the account from, you're gonna take the account, you're gonna go back 18 months. You're going to audit, get all that value back, and boom, you're going to get this 151,000. And all of a sudden, your investment looks much, much better. You get a better ROI, return on investment. Okay. And here, if anybody here wants to kind of try us out, we did prepare a special offer for the Orange Klik community. You can just visit getida.com/Klik, and you'll be able to get $400 in free reimbursements. So what does it mean? It means we're going to get you back $400 in FBA reimbursements, no matter what. It might take us a day. It might take us a whole year. But no matter what, this is a guarantee for you. You're going to have $400 more in your pocket. After $400, if you want to leave GETIDA, you can leave GETIDA. If you want to stay, you can stay. Not a problem. We're just here to help. And of course, we're going to go back 18 months, hopefully get you $400 and beyond, money you never expected to have. And hopefully, if you take the money, keep investing in your Amazon business and your Amazon growth and make more profit. That's kind of the whole idea of the name of the Get today. And that's it. Hope everybody kind of enjoyed and this was useful. If you want to reach out to me directly, you can just go to my, send me a direct email, yoni@getida.com, or just visit our website. We have a nice chat box and a nice team. And and just kind of to recalculate everything, we discussed the checklist, all these components, and we touch each one. I really hope that makes sense with all the craziness of the Q4 and this crazy year. And that's it. Thank you so much. Lisette, back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this super intensive and super detailed presentation. I even think it's one of the most detailed presentations I have seen about preparing for Q4 and about all the different things important to pay attention to all of this time. So actually you did answer basically all of my questions already with the presentation. I even wanted to ask what's the best way to reach out to you, but you answered that as well with your last slides. So that's really great. Perhaps I wanted to ask because we often have viewers who are just started selling. So if it's somebody's first year of selling in Q4, what recommendation would you have for them? What kind of notes should they take now in order to better prepare for the next year's Q4?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully after watching this video, they have a better understanding of what all these elements you have to kind of be prepared. Don't try to expect that it's going to be one thing. It's all these things together, really. So don't stress out. Take it easy. Look at each one, do really the best you can. So even if you did the best you can and it wasn't such a big, great Q4 for you, it's okay. This is your tuition. It's like going to university. It's your first university. Okay. You paid money, but next year, hopefully it's just going to be better and better. So always look into the future. It's your first year. It's okay not to go crazy and have the best year ever because it's not easy. It's not simple. There's so many things to do. So do the best you can. Do not be nervous. Focus. Of course, if you did a mistake, learn from it, grow from it. So next year, and the other one, it's just gonna be a better experience for you. So be humble and acknowledge that you're still a student of the game. If you have the right mindset, a student learns, and then hopefully in a few more seasons, you're gonna be the doctor. Then you can help others also. Just pass it on,
Okay, that's really great advice. And also to wrap this interview and topic up, when do you usually have seen the sales, slowing down before or during the holiday time? So when is usually the time when sellers should, perhaps lower their bids and take a look at the PPC campaigns again and just, go back more to the normal sales period?
It's pretty simple. Christmas Day, you see right now, right away, it's kind of a cliff. It's like da 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 da, then bungee goes down. So that's the point where you can start relaxing a little bit. But you know what? It's not like one tactic or strategy fits all. When everybody's relaxing for Christmas, you should be working. calculate all the data, see what's going on, look at the competitive landscape. If you see others are still bidding and they're really bullish about it, and they're selling longer than you, maybe they know something you don't know, so keep bidding. If you see everybody's kind of lowering down, you lower down together. So look at the environment and try to sell a bit after. You know, even from Christmas till New Year's Eve, be focused, make sure everything's okay. Even in the first week or two of January with all the returns, make sure everybody's get the best customer service, best attention, best. And then if hopefully you made enough money, you go take a vacation mid-January or February. That's kind of when things are more simple, so to speak. But yeah, you're about to work and work hard and keep your focus.
Okay, great. So thanks again for joining me, and thanks for this awesome presentation. And we wish you good luck in your business.
Thank you so much. Good luck, everybody.
I hope this video will help you to succeed during the fourth quarter of the year in your Amazon business. And in case you want to use GETIDA's service to get your money back from Amazon, find a special offer below in the video description. It will give you $400 of free Amazon FBA reimbursements. And now I would like to recommend you to watch other video with Yoni, where he tells how to claim Amazon FBA reimbursements and reduce fees. Enjoy.